Hello, good afternoon and good morning, wherever you are located. Thanks for being with us today in this webinar where we're going to speak about operational efficiency in food and beverage equipment. Today, our speaker is Eduardo Cruz. Eduardo is a senior product manager for the commercial refrigeration controllers and a very experienced person who can walk you through this topic today. I'm Silvana Michelizzi. I'm marketing communication manager. And it's really a pleasure being with you today. Just before we get started, I want to give you a little bit of practical information, make sure that we run this webinar in a very comfortable way. First thing, please note that this webinar will be recorded and the recording will be available on the on-demand session in the Mostra Convenio platform, but as well as on our own website. Second, you have been probably noticing that you are muted by default, and that means that for your question, we would like you to use the chat box that you can see here on the control panel. And we are really looking forward to getting your question. And we will dedicate a few minutes at the end of Eduardo's presentation to answer them. And if we don't have the time to answer all of them, be ensured that we will get back to you by email. So without further ado, I just want to start with a video, a short video, 1 minute from our President and CEO, Kim Fausing, who will be speaking with Danfoss. We are engaged in reaching the carbon neutrality by 2030, and really walking the talk in this action. I will share I will start the video. Just a second with me to make sure that the sound is okay.
2021, we will continue to make our 250,000 square meter headquarter campus CO2 neutral. We will do so by using green electricity and cover the heating demand by CO2 neutral district energy, by utilizing excess heat from our processes and data centers, and by installing heat pumps to cover the remaining demand for heating. In other words, by applying our own solution.
Well, that was a very short video, but wanted to make this transition for Eduardo. Now we'll speak about our controllers and IoT portfolio, which is actually a great way to achieve this energy efficiency and walking the talk of the green transition. So now over to you, Eduardo.
Perfect. Thank you, Silvana. Hopefully you guys can see my screen there.
We do.
Sorry?
We see.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get all this in here. So welcome to this presentation, and I'm trying to go back here. So as Silvana said, my name is Eduardo Cruz. I'm sorry for the domestic appearance of my office today, because obviously everybody's relocated to home offices, and we had to work on the new conditions of the new work. And I would like to introduce myself. I'm a senior manager for the cold room, for the commercial refrigeration and IoT controllers and enablers. I've been working with Danfoss for a number of years now, more than 8 years. And it's been a very interesting process here. Let me start talking about why Danfoss is such an important player on this particular market. We have something that differentiates us from other people in this particular market, because we have a long experience and a long career on domain expertise that has allowed us to be pioneers on essentially this big data or data analysis and cloud development. Over more than 15 years, Danfoss has been working, especially in food retail, the big supermarkets, the chains, international chains, and the large footprint stores, providing connectivity and remote alarm management and managed service for these guys. So it's something that Danfoss has been doing for a long time. We have a big understanding and a clear understanding of what is needed in this particular market. And it's not something that we just started doing. As you can see from this presentation, today we got around 15,000 stores connected worldwide. We get 1 million data points collected, and we have over 300,000 plus connected standalone equipment. It's a large footprint. It's a large footprint that is giving us a lot of understanding and knowledge of the market, how to do with it, what to do with the data. And that combined with the strong expertise that Danfoss has from the service point of view, from the application point of view, from the refrigeration point of view, food safety, is allow Danfoss to become a leading force on this particular segment. And we got the tools, we got the expertise, we've been pioneering this for a long time. This effort have been reinforced by acquisition that we have done for the last few years, like companies that we have acquired or joined our effort. But as in general, it's something that is being in the process for a long time. When you look at the number of alarms we process, it's huge, 1.6 million alarms monthly. But more than anything is the organized discipline that the Danfoss is putting and the long-term strategy that Danfoss is putting to make sure that all these alarms are processed, properly managed, and we offer a lot of managed services, a lot of understanding of what to do with the unit. So because we've been doing this for a long time, and because this is something that is part of the DNA of the company for a long time, we are moving forward into this process into a significantly more extended offer for our customer and for your end users. So when you start thinking of Danfoss as a provider, this is where we are moving right now and where this whole presentation is geared toward. So in this side of the equation, you got all the equipment that you guys provide or the end users use. So whether you are an OEM or an end user. So in one side of the equation, you got all the equipment that you need. You got water coolers, can, processor, you name it. Anything that is at the point of sale or the point of processing, be a cold room, be a GDM, be a vending machine. And then in the center of this equation, we've got this connectivity that we are now offering to reinforce the point-to-point solution that we're going to provide. So it's something that is scalable. It's something that it provides a significantly enhanced versatility. So you got flexibility, you got a different option. The first one is like we are offering, different from other people as well, something that is the core of Danfoss knowledge, which is being the knowledge of the domain from the application point of view. So you have the ability to have from the same company the core equipment that has allowed you for a long time to be top of the line, increase your performance and energy and the food safety and all the operation of the equipment itself from Danfoss, a core company, and then now combined with the ability to have IoT enablers, devices that can connect this section here through our newly developed AllSense platform, which is an overarching platform infrastructure, software infrastructure for the portal and the connectivity. We're going to talk about that. And now closing the gap and effectively providing a full end-to-end channel where this is the end result. So now this, which used to be disconnect part of the equation, now it's connected using our controllers, the IoT enablers, and then your end result is you as an OEM or you as an end user now can start seeing different values from that data. It's not just data, it becomes something that is adding value to the operation. So you can do equipment control, but you can do service monitoring. Now you have sales and inventory management, which is a strong point in the conversation. And then you also have the ability to do customer engagement and on-site interaction. So we are turning data into actionables, data into valuable insight to move you to a next stage on value proposition, value selling, and serving our customers at the end of the day. And that's all possible because we do have the end-to-end capability right now. We offer the connectivities right here. We offer the outstanding performance of our controllers. And now we are offering this platform with all this value already developed for this audience, right? So we talk about all things, which is a key element that you notice there in the equation. All things is an improvement on our existing platform. Today we have the platform that we use for software platform infrastructure. We got that platform to support our food retail. We got the platform that supports our commercial refrigeration and user application. And the AllSense is the next stage. AllSense is the overarching platform that will cover all these needs and more. Well, we're going to start adding more flexibility, more capabilities. You're going to have data configurability, expanded data configurability. You're going to have a high customization level of things that we can do for different customers depending on the application. It's service-oriented it's a service-oriented platform. So the functions are not really set up in a closed way. It's not set up in a way that is going to be unflexible. It's designed to be flexible. It's designed to be open. It's designed to add functionality over time on top of the functionality that we have today. And it's providing a solid base to the development of further service that we want to bring to you, to our customer, to the users in the application. And finally, it's really focused on something that is becoming a game changer in this particular market, which is the third-party integration. Today, most of the applications that we see here or there are suffering from the inability to connect people that are in a different ecosystem. And especially in this growing environment where you have many people and many controllers and many IoT applications, there is a big issue, which is fragmentation. And we are moving away that we move that and are allowed to connect, right? So how are we going to do this? We have a full portfolio of controllers and IoT enablers, and I'm going to quickly go over there here. For the commercial refrigeration market specifically, there are other controllers for other applications. So you have your basic controller here, or basic to advanced controllers in the commercial refrigeration space, cold room controllers, GDMs, wholesale application. All of these devices provide you with a basic and advanced functionality for performance at equipment level. When you add to this equation the IoT enabler, then all this equipment that used to be, isolated in a condition where you cannot really interact with them or get a lot of data unless you were locally, now you take them to the next stage. So what are we doing with this information? So this is a deep dive into the actual details of the IoT portfolio itself. Like you saw in the previous slide, this is a deep dive here on the product portfolio. So we are looking at this type of product where you have a device, for example, in this case, the SC4 is specifically designed for application where you got cold room application, walk-in freezer, walk-in cooler, because it's a device that is really designed for interacting with this type of application where it can be a standalone, it can be connected to another controller. It can give you all the basic things for all the basic and advanced functionality for food safety compliance, or hazard compliance, alarms, and this kind of a situation where you need to have regulatory compliance. And then you have in the top line here, the top segments, applications that are specifically designed for, solutions that are specifically designed for commercial refrigeration applications. So we're talking food service, food joints, restaurants, GDMs, prep tables, things like that. So these particular products are specifically designed for that. In the case of the Solo specifically, as the name indicates, it's designed to be a standalone. Basically, it's not even plug and play, it's just a stick and play situation where it doesn't need a controller, it doesn't need a connection, it's a battery operated device that you place it there and can control your equipment, or can give you information or data on your equipment, about location, failures, alarm, and and all these details. In the case of the Octo, it's more designed to be part of a bigger ecosystem with more capabilities, but it's actually designed to be working with a controller where you get all information, more data, more functionality. But all of them serve different purposes, different markets. So we are covering every gap, every corner of the solution. So if you need to have something that is quick, simple, cost effective, and you don't need a lot of information for the solo is your solution. If you want to go in the aftermarket solution, like something that is in the field, Solo is a great solution for you. But if you want to have a full comprehensive view of what's going on, what is my product, how the equipment is operating, how is the food safety compliance in this particular situation, then you want to go to a solution like the Octo if you are facing something like in the commercial refrigeration segment, or you want to go to a SC4 type of equipment where you're doing cold room application. And in cold room, it's slightly different, but it's the same idea. So if you want to go like a deeper thing, then you do the SC4, where you can get more data from the cold room, a comprehensive package of what's going on. How's my compressor working? How my temperature? How are my fans operating? What's the situation with the food safety there? So we are bringing in a solution for each segment, a solution for each application, and a solution for each budget, because that's important too. So sometimes you don't need really to overkill it. You can need only to have basic safety information and location information here. So what does it bring to you and to our customers in general, to your customers, if you are an OEM, you got an end-to-end solution. Nobody else can bring you an end-to-end solution from controllers to the IoT enablers all the way to the cloud. This is something that we are bringing in and integrating, allows us also to integrate back if you are working in commercial refrigeration, but also have an overlap into food retail or other segments. The AllSense is the integrating part. So you can bring your data to a centralized location and work from one point. We got values added service, actionable insights. You can manage your fleet. All that information is going to be there, but it's also giving you more and more opportunities to be proactive in the operation of your equipment and the management of your fleet. This is going to be able to also open new type of business. I mean, for example, equipment rental. Because if you're an OEM, now you can do some equipment rental and actually track the location of your equipment, the operation, make sure that this is something that is being used as expected. You can manage a warranty service, which is a big problem for our OEMs. The warranty service becomes a big issue because people complain and get warranty, and now you got full visibility of what's going on. You got full visibility on the understanding of the equipment. And then you got a historic because you're looking at data. You got data to show that this equipment has been disconnected for 2 days. Now, of course, it's not cooling enough because it's been off for 2 days. Things like that become valuable when you're trying to save money in the long-term operation. Then you can benchmark and be able to understand which equipment is working better, where, what do you need to do something. And also we are creating a lot of other assets that we're going to be bringing in the sense of predictive maintenance, capability to understand where you need to be proactive, something that is going on with your fleet, something that is going on with your application. It's a particular model of family that is performing better in a particular location. And the same to your user, because your user now can also start thinking of stock management, inventory management, value, things that are bringing value to their side, which is selling the product that they want to sell. This is why this is so important, and this is so critical for us that we offer a full package from one point to the next one. And we are opening this in a way that the platform and the equipment is really future-proof. It's really ready to take anything that is coming forward in the future. Just to complete here my presentation, and this is very quick, and I hope that there are many questions here to follow up, and if there are no time for that, we can, you guys can reach out to us. Just a quick view of how the asset management system works today and what we have functionally deployed today that can help you. So you can have right now we got a quick sample of the dashboards that we have available on on the system. So you got technical and services, you got your diagnostic, alarm, HACCP monitoring and report, connectivity supervision to make sure what's going on, your basic alarm, of course, which is something that is critical for the normal operation. And then you also have advanced information. You got your sales trend, you got your sales report, you got information that are critical more for your end user, people that are really looking at how many of my products are selling and where can I sell more. This is a value point when you're trying to promote your solution to end users, and it's a value point for our end users to say, okay, where can I make more money and what is selling good or not. And then finally, you got the logistic and asset efficiency. Where is my equipment situated? Can I make it more efficient? Can I move it around in a way that first is making more money for me, and second, is being used where I want it to be used? So this is what you get here. So you make sure that your equipment is where it's supposed to be, your equipment is making as much money to you as you can, and the operation is right. And essentially, this brings me to my conclusion. And I got all the information that I had to present for you guys. Silvana?
Yes, thank you, Eduardo. That was super interesting. That's a very interesting topic. So, and that has generated interest because I can see some questions in the chat. So we have a few minutes, so we can take them. So let's go for the first one. Actually, just a second, bear a second with me. Yes, this one is interesting here, Eduardo. You spoke a lot about the refrigeration system, but is actually this kind of solution, do you have a solution? Is your solution, sorry, try to read at the same time, is your solution also working for air conditioning applications?
It could, in principle, absolutely can work in air conditioning application. The principle is the same, and the application is the same. We do have some pilots that are being done in the air conditioning side. There is no reason why it cannot be widely used. The only reason that we focus more on that is because this is our first target, but it's operational speaking is absolutely compatible, and the data is data at the end of the day. So we have no problem handling that type of operation. Yeah.
Right. And the message is reach out to us if you have a project, obviously,
absolutely.
where you
Please.
want to check what we can do, how we can partner with. Good. Let's go for the next one. Another one, which is about level of complexity. How is it complex to implement these IoT solutions?
Most of the cases, a very simple process. So if you take, for example, the Solo, is, as I said, it's basically a stick and play type of application because it's a very simplified process. In the case of the Solo, there are no sensors. Sensors are included in the unit. You put it there. You enable your application using the mobile app, and you're good to go. You're assigned the account, and you're good to go. In the case of the devices that are connected to the controller and the equipment, it's not way more complicated. You just it's a simple connector from cable to connect the controller to the IoT enabler. Same approach. Then you use your app to do the installation of the device. You assign your functionality, you assign your name, all the basic things that we do all the time when we create an equipment, and you're good to go. And they are both designed for two different approaches. You can do the app at end user level in the field for one equipment, or you can do this in batch mode at the production site. So if you are an OEM trying to deliver this already installed to your customers, there are processes to do it in a very efficient way through the production line.
Great. Thanks. Super interesting. Thanks, Eduardo. Well, actually, we don't have more questions, but I would like to raise one that we had in the Italian session yesterday, because I think it could be also important to clarify this for the audience today. And it was specifically about where this type of system work, if they can work worldwide or if there are some geographical limitations.
So there are, in principle, we are working a future-proof, as mentioned, the development path. So what are we using? We are using the latest technology in connectivity. So we are basing all our devices. It's not 5G, of course, because 5G is not here yet. But we are working LTE, 4G, and we are using Cat M1 connectivity level. So that what that means in not so hard on terms is that our equipment is future-proof to work everywhere. As of now, we are working by region because each region has some regulatory compliance that you need to follow, like some government regulation specific for a particular region. So we do have some limitations in some areas. But in general, our equipments are either ready today or they will be very shortly ready for a particular area. We know some regions are more complex to get, but for example, in Europe, we got full coverage basically everywhere. We got full coverage today in the US. We got extended coverage in Latin America. Some regions are we missing today because of regulatory things. I can mention Brazil, for example, it's something that we are working on because Brazil has a very strict regulation for country level deployment. You have to have a local partners. And that's becoming, but in general, our equipment is designed to work everywhere, and we are using the latest technology. So it's not like we are designing something that is going to have a 5-year lifetime. It's actually moving in a way that more and more every week we are adding countries and regions to the list of countries that the places that we can work. But basically today you got basically all Europe, Russia, the US. Expanding in Latin America. So, but it's my message is, yes, if you got questions, reach out to us. But in general, today, the main market, we got it covered.
Good, thanks for clarifying this, because it's also very interesting, because we know that there are many players, global and local players as well. And it's also important to consider who we can turn to. And that's why, and coming to this last point that I would like you to elaborate a bit more, Eduardo. So as we said, there are many players out in the market with operating with IoT solutions, also on do-it-yourself or different approach. So what really makes Danfoss different and better here? And make turn to us.
Silvana, one of the first thing that I would say it makes us a little bit different is that we are unique in the sense that not many people out there can offer an end-to-end solution. So we start with the sensor, with the controller that we own, with our knowledge and logic for performance. We move into the IoT network, which are ours too, with our cloud, the infrastructure, and then we got the final solution. Not many players can do that. Most of the players that we see today out there, they can offer one piece of the pie. They can offer the IoT enablers, and then they got another partner for the cloud side, or they got the cloud side, another partner for the IoT enablers. Not many people. The best you can see right now are people offering two pieces of the pie. We are offering an end-to-end. We are offering something else, which is global coverage. Most of the people that are in the market today are very regional, are very small companies that are very agile at doing some of the stuff that are doing at a particular low level of region. So we see in this particular market of IoT, a lot of IoT, pure IoT companies working on this, but they work in one country or in 3 countries. They really don't have the footprint to go after a full market. And anybody that is in the market that is looking at global deployment or at least regional deployment have to have a partner that can support them all the way through, whether you are installing this in Russia or in Argentina. It's important, and I think it's important. And we learn, and it's something that people don't realize, how complex the connectivity market is once you start deploying because of regulatory compliance. You need to have money, time to dedicate to invest in this particular market to do your compliance service. And there are a lot of people also doing things without proper compliance approval, which is something that is never going to happen to us. So it's important to keep in mind that the footprint, the global presence, the fact that we offer end-to-end is one of the main differentiator that we can bring to market. Why we are different than the rest of the people.
That's very powerful, and actually thanks for also stating that loud and clear, Eduardo. And let me add that when we talk about end-to-end, it's also beyond the controllers and the connectivity, but we also the full Danfoss refrigeration portfolio, as well as expertise and application development centers that we have across the world. So, but time is up. So we could have spent much more time talking about this topic with you, Eduardo, and I would have loved, but time is up. So it's time to conclude for today. thanks for your presentation. Thanks to all the listeners. It was a real pleasure to deliver this presentation to you. Let me remind you that it is recorded and it will be available on demand on the platform, on the Mostra Convenio platform, but as well as on our website. And if you want to reach out to us, Eduardo or one of our other experts in this area, contact Danfoss. Thanks a lot and have a great day.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks.